Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investors channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to talk about a project that along with Convex Finance is being listed on Binance today, and this project is called ConstitutionDAO or the People Token, right? So the announcement reads as follows. Binance will list Convex Finance and ConstitutionDAO, which is a people token, in the innovation zone and will open trading for CVX BTC, CVX BUSD, CVX USDT, People BTC, People BUSD and People USDT trading pairs at 23rd of December 6 a.m. UTC. So what is ConstitutionDAO? ConstitutionDAO was a crowdfunding movement to buy a first edition copy of the US Constitution. People is the token representing a share of the ConstitutionDAO. Since the bid for the people has failed, the people token is now also representing a DAO member with historical significance. So again, firstly, I'm going to cover just the ConstitutionDAO in this video. For Convex Finance, I'll make a separate video at a later date, right? When it comes to ConstitutionDAO itself, it's a crowdfunding movement in order to buy a first edition copy of the US Constitution. So this is basically a very unique project where they are trying to crowdfund money in order to buy the first edition of US Constitution. So people is the token representing a share of the ConstitutionDAO. So when you try to buy a share of a ConstitutionDAO, people is basically the token that you would use to represent the share or the purchasing power of a particular share of the ConstitutionDAO, right? Since the bid for the document has failed, so it seems like the bid for buying the US Constitution, the first edition US Constitution has failed. The people token is now also representing a movement, a DAO movement with historical significance. So it's kind of representing a unique historical significant movement, which is definitely something that's unique to the crypto space, right? So as always, I'm going to go to the Binance research page for the ConstitutionDAO token, and again, this is going to be a very useful resource if you want to look into buying the people token. But their main catchphrase here is a DAO movement that originally created to buy a first edition copy of the US Constitution. So again, they are a DAO movement, which means the people are in full control, and it was originally created to buy the first edition copy of the US Constitution, as we discussed right now, right? So again, this particular first paragraph basically talks about the same thing that we already spoke about. Now when it comes to the people token itself, currently the people token has no explicit use cases, as the founding team has chosen to close the project and burned their multi-sig that controlled the raised fund. So this is very important in two ways, right? The first thing is, if you are new to crypto and you're trying to buy a project that is going to have a unique use case, then the people token is obviously not for you, because they've explicitly stated that it has no use case. And also the founding team has chosen to close the project and burned their multi-sig, which means the founders don't necessarily have any control of the project itself, which means it's fully with the people. So the tokens are literally out there and you can basically buy and sell and trade, but apart from that, it doesn't necessarily have a unique explicit use case, which means it's kind of like a corrupt coin, right? So that's one way of thinking it. The second way of thinking it is that if you take Yearn Finance, for example, the YFI token, the token was initially known to be a token that's literally worthless or with no intrinsic use case, right? So the founder of Yearn Finance, Andre Cronje, basically explicitly stated that this Yearn Finance coin or YFI token is actually a worthless coin which doesn't necessarily have any use case, but people still invested in that and came out with so much gains during the all-time highs for the token. I even made a video, a couple of videos about it in fact, and one of the videos that I mentioned literally states that this coin was worth 3 bitcoins at one point. So you could have literally bought the coin for YFI, sat on it for a few months, and then during its all-time high, you could have sold it to get 3 free Bitcoin literally by holding one token, right? So that's how people literally made Wi-Fi that, ironically, it became that worth it. So people token could technically do the exact same thing, right? So if you are an experienced crypto person, then people token could potentially do 100x, who knows, right? Because anything can happen in crypto, and every project that has been explicitly stated to have no use case have pumped significantly. So if you see Dogecoin, initially it was considered as a joke, and it did literally do like multiple X's, and became one of the top 7 cryptos at one point. And the same thing with YFI and numerous other projects that literally were absolutely worthless, right? So those are the two approaches you can take, but here they've explicitly stated that this project has no use cases, and the best thing about this is that the founding team doesn't really have control over it. So this is definitely a project that can pump extremely hard, even though the project itself doesn't have any use case, right? So as such, no further people tokens can be minted. People holders will always have the chance to convert 1 million people tokens to 1 ETH. So this is a crucial information, because if you see, there is no real inflation for this token, which is already making this token a really good token compared to the US dollar or any fiat currencies, right? So even though they say that this token is completely worthless or doesn't have any use case, this token definitely is much better, significantly better in the regard when it comes to having no inflation. So there is no new tokens that can be minted, which means it's a very capped cryptocurrency. And also the best thing about this project is that they claim that every single ETH can be can be earned by redeeming 1 million people token, right? So if you have 1 million people token, you can always convert it back to 1 ETH at a fixed ratio, and this is the ratio. So 1 ETH is to 1 million people token. This is the ratio, right? And that's a pretty cool statement there, because it's going to be interesting to see how people will manipulate the price of this token, and will try to make sure that the token is always worth 1 ETH, and that's something that we'll have to see, because a lot of whales will already have tested this one out, right? So the next point is basically there are several community-based DAOs that have sprung up claiming to use the people token as their project's native token. Notable ones include, so again, even though we literally read the fact that this token does not have an intrinsic value, there's still several community DAOs who are still claiming to use the people token as their own native token, which is ridiculously crazy considering the fact that this project has been explicitly stated to have no real use case. One of those projects include People DAO, a DAO governed by the people token and aims to maximize the interests of people holders. A snapshot vote was created to initiate the DAO with a high voter turnout of 645 million people tokens, which is about 12.8% of the circulating supply. So if you see, People DAO is already using the people token to maximize the interest of the token holders. And if you see, when they had a voting snapshot, about 12.8% of the circulating supply, which is about 645 million people tokens were basically used to vote, right? So it's quite a high turnout for a project which is relatively new and relatively branded to be as worthless, right? The next project that's using people token is People at BTC DAO. So a community DAO created by a Chinese crypto influencer. The tentative roadmap includes releasing NFTs and a DEX. Again, this is another kind of project that's been created by a Chinese crypto influencer that also tends to take use of the people token, right? As of December 23rd, 2021, the total and circulating token supply of People is 5.054 billion tokens. So this is the total and circulating supply. It will be interesting to see the max supply. I think it's probably going to be in billions as well. But we'll cover that topic maybe once we are done with the quick review, right? So Apart from that, you have other information about the website, the Twitter account, and the ERC20 token explorer, because it is an Ethereum based project. So you basically have to bear the high gas fees, even though this project is considered as worthless. If you want to get your hands on this token, if you're buying it from the Ethereum dexes, you will definitely face severe gas fees, right? So you need to understand whether it's even worth this project or not. But at the same time, there have been multiple proven projects that have explicitly stated that they're worthless, and they've done at least a 50 to 100x, right? So let's go to their website itself, which is ConstitutionDAO.com. They have a pretty simple website, again, literally like a very generic, it looks like a fake website, but it is actually a real website, but it's quite generic. And if you see refunds are now available, you have two choices, so go to Juicebox. So this is for people who initially participated, and if you want a refund, you can basically claim that here by clicking on the Juicebox button here. Claiming will deposit your unclaimed people token into your wallet, so you can basically take advantage of the fact that you can deposit your unclaimed people token in your wallet, and redeeming will burn your claimed or unclaimed people token in exchange for 1 ETH to 1 million people token in that ratio. In other words, exchange people for its original value minus gas fees at contribution. So this is pretty straightforward and something that we already covered before. Constitution DAO 2021 to 2021 was a beautiful experiment in a single purpose DAO. We now believe this project has run its course. So again, they are stating that the project did not meet its goal, and therefore they're ending the project. The community has taken all actions that it was organized to accomplish. We raised capital, we bid at Sotheby's, and upon losing, we made all refunds available to the community as promised. So again, this is pretty good that they are refunding it instead of like a lot of other projects which will easily not hesitate to scam their users. But having lost the auction and following the core team's choice to wind down, we would like to remind you that the tokens possess no rights, governance, or utility other than redeeming them for Ethereum from a smart contract held in Jukebox at a ratio of 1 million to 1, the same ratio at which contributions were made to the initial crowd fund to buy the Constitution. So again, they are stating that the initial fact they raised money was by providing 1 million people token for every ETH contributed. So they are refunding the funds since they've lost, right? So you can go to their Juicebox to claim if you were a part of this project before. It is also an option to keep your people tokens and do with them as you please. It is clear that there are parts of the community who wish to incorporate them into future projects. Constitution DAO cannot and will not endorse any future plans for the token. Nothing in here is financial advice. Do your own research. So again, they've made it very clear that they personally don't intend to use the people token for anything else, but other projects are free to do whatever they want with the people token, and the users themselves can do whatever they want with the people token, right? So you can provide liquidity, you can do whatever you want. If you're a developer who wants to use people token for some of the dApps or link it with other applications, or if you're a developer of a very popular dApp such as Aave, Compound Finance, you can obviously use people token as a means to kind of like draw some attention to this cause by using people as a token for borrowing or lending in your platform, and so on and so forth, right? That's literally infinite use cases that can literally make this project revive back and make it actually a worthful project to invest in. But again, for now, it's not a worthy investment, at least on paper. But based on my experience in crypto, I've seen a lot of projects that literally explicitly state that they are worthless, that have pumped like crazy, and obviously they've dumped like crazy as well, but the pumping is where the money is being made, and that's basically what I feel like is going to happen for this project as well, right? But that's just my personal opinion or financial advice, right? So that's pretty much it for the website. There's literally nothing else. They have a very straightforward and no BS kind of website. Now let's go to their coin market cap page for the token. This token is currently ranked 2797 by market cap on coin market cap, and is currently traded at 16 cents per token with a 21.4% increase in past price. Again, if you see a project that has literally no use case and the project's team members themselves have walked away from the project, and the token itself is still pumping, right? It's up 30%, close to, it was actually up 30% by immediately after the Binance announcement, but now it's kind of like cooling down, but it's still up 22%, right? So that's pretty crazy. And for people who bought this token, with Ether, like 1 Ether equals 1 million tokens, they're probably sitting on a really good gains right now, even for a project that literally, failed to achieve what it wanted to achieve, right? The market cap information should be taken with a grain of salt, but this is again less than $1 million less than 100, less than $1 billion in market cap. Again, I kind of like fluttered there. So if you see, it's stating that the project is $854 million in market cap, but this number should be taken with a huge grain of salt, because this project doesn't necessarily have a lot of traction, and that's one of the reasons why it's ranked so low. So this market cap I would not trust. Probably it's much lower than that. It's definitely not in the hundreds of millions. Probably it's less than 500 to like $300 million, right? But that's quite uncertain for now, so I'll skip that one. When it comes to max supply, this token has a max supply of 6.79 billion tokens, a huge token supply, and the circulating supply is 5.05 billion tokens. Again, this number is already something that we know it's not the case, because this token, even though it has 5.5 billion tokens in circulation according to this particular website, coin market cap, I think the actual number is much lower, and I believe that this project definitely has a high potential to grow despite its extremely huge volume of tokens. That's because of the fact that this project has no founders, no founders actually actively having their tokens. They burn their tokens and the key to that project, and there's no inflation. It has a fixed supply, which means this token has a high chance of growing exponentially in the future if it gets enough traction, right? But that's just my opinion, guys, not financial advice. When it comes to the chart itself, if you see, despite this token being literally called no worth or doesn't have any use case, this token has been setting up higher highs and higher lows, right? Which is again, after these many years of my experience in crypto, I'm not really surprised at all. But for a newcomer, you definitely may potentially be surprised, because of the fact that this token was claimed to be worthless, but it's still performing extremely well compared to several other projects, right? So the initial price of this token was less than 1 cent per token. It was actually worth $0.003 per token as of November 19th, and it literally skyrocketed in price, reaching its first all-time highs of 16 cents per token as of 27th of November, but it crashed right away, reached 3 cents per token, and then went back up to new all-time highs of up to kind of like 17 cents per token, went back down mildly, and then went up, down, and then up. So, but if you can clearly see that this token easily makes new kind of like higher highs and higher lows, which is a really good sign that this project is actually going to be a very healthy project in the future, right? And I'm definitely going to look into this project a little bit more, because even though this project doesn't really have a lot of looking into, I'm basically going to look into its charts and price patterns, and I'm going to look into it in the log scale to see what's the best price to buy. But based on my understanding of this project, it seems like this project doesn't necessarily have a proper sign, because there's no real active project. It's just a bunch of coins that are literally like, that exist, similar to kind of like Bitcoin, and they don't do much, at least as of now. But who knows, maybe Aave may come up with an announcement saying that they're actually going to offer people borrowing and lending features, which is going to skyrocket this token from nowhere, right? Because this token does have a lot of good qualities which many projects don't have, and the fact that this project is a project that has similar vibes to Bitcoin, I think just like how Bitcoin performed well, this token will perform well. even though it has no development, no upcoming kind of like partnerships or anything like that we actively know of, and the team and the founders are literally abandoning the project, and this project definitely like could potentially be in the hands of many whales who may already be manipulating this project, right? But I feel like this project will still perform well because of how the crypto market is and how crypto can be definitely unpredictable, right? So when it comes to buying in opportunities, I'd probably say that now the token is listed on Binance. I think this token will probably be in the green trajectory for a few more days, but it will probably come down and retest somewhere between the 14 to 12 cents per range, which is definitely the best opportunity to get in this project because it clearly sets higher highs and higher lows, and I don't see this token stopping anytime soon, right? When it comes to the Bitcoin comparative itself, the pattern is pretty much a carbon copy paste of the dollar comparative itself. The token was initially worth literally like less than 1 Satoshi, but it made an all-time highs of about, again, I'd probably say 20 Satoshis or 25 Satoshis per token. It then went back down, retested the 8 Satoshi mark, and then went back to make new all-time highs close to 35 Satoshis per token. And then now, after the Binance listing, the token made a new all-time highs of close to 37 Satoshis per token. And now it's kind of like in the green zone. So this is definitely not the best opportunity to buy this token, right? You have to wait for this token to go down in the Bitcoin and dollar comparative, but I think the Bitcoin comparative will be extremely more volatile compared to dollar comparative, so you need to be extremely careful, right? But I think Bitcoin comparative wise, this token can be a good buy if this token goes below maybe 26 to 24 Satoshis per token, and then that's a good opportunity to buy and hodl this token because you pretty much have no other option to do this token, right? You can't earn interest, you can't stake, you can't pretty much do anything, so you just need to buy and hodl, right? It's pretty much like a old school method of doing this, but if you hodl long enough, you can definitely make some good gains, right? So obviously Binance, even though this project has literally no use case, Binance, one of the best exchanges in the world, centralized exchanges in the world, has listed this token. I wouldn't be surprised even if Coinbase were to list this token, because this token does seem to meet a lot of criteria that Coinbase would expect when it comes to listing a token. So I definitely wouldn't be surprised if early next year Coinbase makes an announcement saying that they're going to be listing this token. So just because of that itself, I'll probably get into this token for short term, at least if in case this gets listed on multiple major exchanges, right? You can obviously get this token from, again, OKX as well, which is surprising because OKX is also a really good reputed tier 1 exchange. So it seems like KuCoin, Binance, Get.io and OKX are some of the best exchanges to buy this token from. But obviously Binance being the most place with the most liquidity at, you can definitely buy this from Binance as a primary exchange, right? You can also get this from Uniswap version 2 and version 3 and maybe even SushiSwap as well, because it is an ERC20 token that can be available in those exchanges, right? So when it comes to the final verdict of this token, guys, I think this token is a very weird token to a newcomer, but I feel like if you have seen the extreme unpredictabilities in the crypto space, this is probably going to be the next 100x token. In my personal opinion, not financial advice, I'm definitely going to invest in this token despite knowing that this token has literally no use case, no development, no nothing, right? That's obviously doesn't really matter. Again, fundamentals don't always matter in the crypto space, and I think because of the fact that this token doesn't have a max, doesn't have an inflation or doesn't have founding members or team members having any tokens, that itself will be a factor by which this token will pump like crazy. And obviously Binance listing this token is definitely going to bring more attention to this project, which will increase the floor price of this token somewhere between 15 to $16 cents per token, right? So I think for the short term, this token can definitely cross the 20 to 21 cents mark, which is going to be a huge deal for a project that doesn't have any kind of like use case. I think in the long term, again, depending on how much traction this project is getting, it could very well be 30 to 40 cents per token, which is a pretty good deal. Again, there could be opportunities to like make really good quick short-term gains with this token if you know how to trade and time the market properly. But for the most people who are watching this video, if you're trying to buy this token and hodl as a brutal investor, then this is definitely going to be a good token that will pump in the long term because of the irrational nature of crypto space, right? Again, that's just my verdict, guys. Remember, guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.